Yeah, that's what we need.
Mhm.
Well, I'm very happy. I'm very excited about this project.
Mhm.
Yes. What is the? You know what else I am very impressed about?
Mm.
I have been playing with GPT, GTP.
Really?
Yeah, I have been
Amazing.
playing with that toy. Uh, well, what a toy! I think it can have several uses, lots of positive uses.
Yes.
Um, it can be a, I can work as a detective also.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just amazing.
You know that also can give you codes for programming?
Yeah, exactly. It can give you programming code or code for programming. Exactly. I don't know exactly how it does it. Maybe you can show us a little example. But one of my classmates, that is a former student of Daisy, and he finished his class as a developer. He
Mm-hmm.
develops code. He says to me that he takes code from ChatGTP. I says, "Really? How you do that?" Yeah, you tell him, "Give me a code, ta 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 ta, in Perl, in C++,
Mm-hmm.
in this or that," and it does it.
Yes. Yeah, it's really amazing.
But for example, how would it be? How would you give it a code just out of the blue, just out of nothing, and tell him, "Hey, do me a code to a counter or a divider or a?" How would you give it an instruction?
Well, I didn't. At the mm, I the how can I say in el inicio?
At the
Not
beginning,
beginning. No.
at first,
Uh, at first, no. The first screen that shows you the program, it shows you some examples. For one of those examples, it says, "How do I make an HTTP request in JavaScript?" And you pop that, and it gives you example of. I think the the page is saturated right now.
oh really?
I don't know. Yeah, look at this. Mm.
Are you gonna share the screen?
Mhm.
Okay, thank you.
It says to make an HTTP request in JavaScript, you can use built-in object or never newer AP. Here's an example of using and you have. I don't know what this code is about, but let me do a try. Uh, Make me a code for change color, change color, change color objects in JavaScript. Let me see if it can give me to me. Oh, sure.
Wow, it is impressive.
And
How can you
yeah,
do it?
I think you need to have a little knowledge about programming to know where to put this code to execute it good.
Yeah, yeah. You embed it. You embed it.
Mhm.
You insert it in a major program, and then you just do it. Wow, it's fabulous.
Yes.
I'm totally impressed. Um, I was asking the program ethical questions,
Hmm.
and let me open it really quick.
Sure.
What was the page? I closed it accidentally. It's
Mhm.
Open AI, right?
I always share it as ChatGPT. It is so many versions, but the most famous and the first one was OpenAI. Um, yes.
This is it. Um, Introducing, and then how do I run it? Because I am in chat OpenAI. Yeah, this is the one.
Mhm. Yes.
Here's Mickey. Let me say hello to Mickey. Mickey, good morning. How are you?
Hi, teacher. Good morning. More or less, but all good, teacher. And you?
Oh, well, I'm overwhelmed. I was overwhelmed. Finally, I'm having a little bit of respite, a little bit of air to breathe. This week was incredibly hectic, and the outcome was not very good because apparently I'm gonna be removed from one of the projects that they are doing at do the Mex. I was having two conferences the other day at the same time, and
Mhm.
apparently they didn't like that because obviously people want full attention to their projects. And I was having the doctorate class, and they want me to participate in a meeting in the city of Mex, Toluca, and I was there, but I was not participating. So
Ooh,
it's difficult to serve two masters at the same time, and
yeah, I imagine.
yeah, I need to organize myself better. But well, and I was chatting with Mitch about the open code of artificial intelligence. It's just amazing. I was playing with this toy the other day, and I was absolutely impressed. Mitch says to me that he can also create
Yeah.
code for programming. Imagine, but I entered the other day. I don't remember how to enter now. Uh,
Mm,
is that here?
you can search it as ChatGPT, and then yeah, first you search as ChatGPT. The first one.
Yes, and this one here, introducing
Mm-hmm.
GPT,
Mm-hmm.
and then here,
In
this
the
is the
part, try ChatGPT.
try chat. This is the one. Yeah, yeah, it's exactly here, right? And I was telling Mitch that I started to ask it ethical questions. And
Mm-hmm.
when you ask him about ethical questions, ethics can vary from time to time, from place to place, from region to region, and it even is programmed to adapt it. Apparently, you were saying that it can adapt it to your region, to your way of thinking. It can, like, how do you say, tropicalize it. What do you think of this idea, Mickey or Mitch?
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
well, I think in general, ChatGPT compare the opinions of many people and give you the opinion that which is more popular. I'm not sure. I'm talking from the ignorance, but that tend to do this program and well could maybe copy an opinion of some of a real person. But now it's the criterion of each one to know if it is correct or not.
Yeah, well, you're right. Everyone has a different criteria, and this is. But for example, your criteria for something which is good maybe slightly a little bit different from Mickey's, and Mickey's criteria from what is good or bad can be slightly different from your dad and from me, from other people. So when we have different degrees for what is good and what is bad, how do you make a standard? Do you average it? Do you make a consensus? How do you come to a conclusion of what is good or bad? For example, I will ask you an ethical question, which has been widely discussed. Um, can a person that is starving steal a small take a piece of bread from a store? Okay, this is an ethical question. What do you think of this question, Mickey or Mitch?
Mm, I would say that is difficult to answer because, for example, I don't know. Imagine that I have a store and someone that is starving take a piece of bread. Probably I wouldn't be angry because I could understand the situation, but I know that there are people who could get angry and it could provocate a biggest problem. So I would say that that is something bad, but if you are hungry or if you have this necessity to eat something, instead of just take it, you can ask for permission. And
Okay. Yeah, yeah, that is more civilized, right? In other words,
yeah.
or you can, for example, I am in a state of necessity, and I go to a house. Can I say, instead of saying, "Oh, madam, can you give me a piece of bread? Can you give me a glass of milk?" I can say, "Can I cut your grass? Or can I paint your wall? Or can I take the trash out? Or can I do something? Or I don't know. Can I do the laundry?" I can offer myself for help, right?
Hmm.
But what is your expectation, Mitch or Mickey, if you ask the computer this question before asking it? Before asking the question, what do you think the computer or the artificial intelligence is going to say to this ethical question? What is your expectation before we ask it?
Can I person that is disturbing take a piece of bread from the stove? Mm, I think it told us that yes, they can for their necessities, but it's incorrect because in any way stealing is bad.
Okay. Do you guys want to do the exercise?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can a person that is starving, I'm going to show the screen. Um, I'm not a lawyer.
Mm.
But I can provide some general information. Taking a piece of bread from a store without paying for it generally be considered theft or shoplifting, regardless of the circumstances. The fact that someone is starving might evoke sympathy, but it doesn't typically justify breaking the law. In some jurisdictions, there may be legal provision or program in place to address situations where individuals are in dire need. For example, some places have ta 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 ta. In conclusion, it's what I said. Yes, but
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So that type of thinking is very computer-like, right?
mhm.
It gives you the law, but some leeway, some escape, right?
Mhm.
What do you think of that way of programming computers, Mickey or Mitch? Well, you both uh, have a very interesting and smart way of thinking, slightly different. But what do you guys think of this way of programming computers?
Mm, as I said, I think it analyzed the real behavior of so much humans. It compare so many opinions to create their own. Maybe it could be the opinion which is more popular and more accepted by the society.
Okay, interesting, interesting. Thank you, Mitch. What do you think about this question, Mickey?
Um, well, yeah, I think that is mm, it's something good that a computer or a program it is designed to answer it in this way because probably the answer of the question that we mentioned could be so different, and I think that it's good that in part it shows you like the humanity in these questions. Yeah, I would say that it's good.
Yeah. Okay. The other concept which comes to my mind, which was very striking, is what history books teach you. When I was in primary school, they told me this sentence: Mexico lost 100% of its, not 100%, but more than 50% of its territory because of Santa Anna. He was a traitor of the nation, and that's why we lost it. What do you think of this sentence, Mitch and Mickey?
Well, of course, that's the thing that the historians or book of history tell us. But I think we never be there, and we can know as 100% what happened.
Yeah, but this is what the history books tell you and tell you over and over and over and over and over.
Mhm.
They how do you say this word? They brainwash you, right?
Uh-huh.
They brainwash us.
Yes.
You know this expression?
Yeah, lavar cerebro.
Right. What do you think of this? Thank you, Mitch. What do you think of this sentence, Mickey? Mexico lost more than 50% of its territory because of Santana.
Mm, well, I don't think that in this case, for example, Santana was the villain of the story because I don't think that there is a completely where there is a person that is completely bad or there is a person that is completely good. I searched one time that I think that he was threatened and that he actually signed the papers with a with a gun in his head, and probably the story makes him like the villain because, well, we know there are some characters in the history of in the history of Mexico that they aren't actually so good, and we put like almost superheroes, and I think that is incorrect to teach the history in that way. But at the end, it is how the government and the educational system teaches how was the story.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. That's exactly right. I learned many years ago, not 5 or 10, like 20, 30 years ago, that it was due to the war, the Mexico US war, Mexico US war, right? The United States invaded Mexico exactly the same as Germany invaded Poland, and they took the land, and that's it. The
Yeah.
Mexico US war. And it was not because of Santana, it was because the Americans invaded Mexico in outright, flagrant, blatant aggression with no excuse, and that's it. But if you put that into history books, the migration is going to be not 500,000 people per year, it's going to be 5 million per year, because then it's going to create an anti-national, anti-American feeling in the Mexicans, which obviously is not convenient for the Americans, because then the migration is going to increase tenfold. What happens then? Well, put in the history books that it was a man and it was a Mexican, of course, the traitor. It's not that the Americans invaded the US. So what I did was ask Chat GPT, and you will be surprised at the answer, right? Can you help me phrase this question in English, please? The question in
And
Spanish was, ¿Cómo perdió más territorio México con la venta de la mesilla o con la guerra con Estados Unidos? Can you help me put this question in English and then ask Chat GPT, please?
how Mexico lost
Lost.
the most of its territory
Lose most of its territory.
uh-huh. With the selling
With the
So
sale
with the sale.
with the sale
of
of
La
La
Mesilla
Mesilla or with
or with
the
the
war with
war with the United
USA.
States.
Okay, that's a fair question, right?
You put Jos.
I'm sorry. Sorry, excuse me. Thank you. Let me just fix that. And then we're going to ask our friend what he thinks, or she, right? We tend to say he, but maybe it's a woman. The,
I think you can choose its gender or whatever you want.
yeah, I already asked her, ask him, or ask it, what's your gender? And oh, I think it was you who asked that question last time, Mickey. Let me ask the question. How did Mexico lose most of its territory with the sale of La Mesilla, with the war with the US?
Mexico lost significant portion of its territory through the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo and Gatzak. Ah, caray.
Okay.
It's very amazing.
The While the Mexican-American War led to significant territorial losses for Mexico, the subsequent gas and purchase further reduced its territory. Okay, it doesn't say which in this. We can regenerate response. Let me. The significant territory. The Mexican-American War. The Cerro de la Mesilla, also known as the gas and purchase, took. This was a treaty between which is approximately. This. Okay, let me go upstairs. Let me go up a little bit. It doesn't. Okay, look what Mexico lost here. California, Nevada, Utah, Arizona, New Mexico, and part of Colorado, Wyoming, Kansas, and Oklahoma. This is what Mexico lost through the invasion of the US, right?
Hmm.
And with the other, it lost just a small part. Uh, I'm gonna regenerate the question. I'm gonna redo it. How did Mexico lose more, not most? How did Mexico lose more territory? Through the sale
I think the program identify your grammatical errors and
or yes? Yeah,
um,
it does.
it- yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure. Most territory through the Mexican-American War. This is the answer that I was looking for. Than through the sale of La Mesilla. Okay, who can read this, please?
Me?
Yes, please.
Mexico lost more territory through the Mexican-American War than through the sale of La Mesilla. The Mexican-American War resulted in Mexico ceding a significant portion of its northern territory to the United States, including where is now California, Nevada, Utah, Arizona, New Mexico, and parts of Colorado, Wyoming, Kansas, and Oklahoma. The sale of La Mesilla, or the Gadsden Purchase, which occurred in 1853, involved a relatively smaller piece of land. The United States purchased approximately 29,000 square miles from Mexico, primarily in what is now southern Arizona or southwestern New Mexico. While both the sale of La Mesilla and the Mexican-American War contributed to Mexico's loss of territory, the Mexican-American War had a far more significant impact on country territorial boundaries.
Yeah, far more significant is far more is much more.
Mhm.
But that's not what the history book tells you. That's an impressive thing. I can go to the Secretary of Education and tell them, look, guys, the millions and millions of books that you guys are publishing are a flagrant lie. And that is, well, and that is true. I mean, here it says. Of course, they're going to say, "Who told you that?" Well, ChatGPT. They're going to say, "Well, who is that?"
Mhm.
And they
Yeah.
have the right to say that. But do you think the guys who made this program are taking the information from the history books in Mexico? Of course, they do a research, a thorough research. You can find this information in the American sites since 10, 15, 20 years ago. Since internet is on, you could find this information. But that is not the information that they give in the history books here in Mexico. And you can ask any kind of question. That's why I was saying, Mickey Mitch, that you can use this device, this toy, I call it my new friend, as
Mhm.
a,
Me
as
too.
a as a detective. You can detect lies starting from our own information. I'm not saying that. For example, who killed Kennedy, Mickey or Mitch?
I don't remember.
You don't?
Yeah,
Mm,
uh,
uh,
There is a thing
Era
that
Lee
says
Harvey Oswald.
Oswald. They say that it was one person, right? But that is only one theory. There can be many theories,
Yes.
right? So when it's controversial, the toy our friend tells us the theories, right? How did Kennedy die? How did Kennedy die? Uh, Gunshot. Look, has been extensive investigations and various conspiracy theories. But it refers to the official investigation, right?
Mhm.
Which uh, Oswald, yeah, they refer, although it recognizes that there are many conspiracy theories, which one of them may be true actually.
Yes.
How did the Twin Towers collapse, Mickey or Mitch?
Well, the most popular theory is that one the Arabs for I forget the name of this guy. Uh, Mohammed? No.
It was an Arab guy, right? Or a group
Yes.
of Arab guys, right?
Uh-huh. That's the most popular theory.
How did the Twin Towers collapse? Well, yeah, but how about the tower number seven?
I don't know about that.
Well, this already makes me doubt a little bit about the prom. Not because I have the last word, but this is also based on on commissions.
Maybe
They
it only gives you theories that are not very with so many arguments, but exist.
they say, well, they say members of terrorist group Al Qaeda,
Yes.
but there are many theories. Okay, for example, if you ask it, how credible is the theory of an inside job in the Twin Towers? How do you translate this to Spanish, Mickey, please?
Mm, ¿Qué tan creíble es la teoría de Inside Job? Es como de
Within the
trabajo.
government, yeah, that it
Yeah.
was a self created coup, self created attack to
Mhm.
justify a retaliation and then an invasion of Iraq, which is what happened immediately. And then they were there in Iraq extracting the oil for 2 years with companies like Bechtel. So, how credible that is? Okay, let's see what it says because it's a truly. Okay, let me go up a little bit. Can you read the first paragraph, Mickey, please?
Yes, sure. The theory of an inside job regarding the collapse of the Twin Towers on September 11, 2001 suggests that the US government or other entities intentionally orchestrated the attacks or allowed them to happen for various purposes. It's important to note that the overwhelming majority of experts, investigations, and official reports have rejected the notion of an inside job and have provided credible evidence supporting the widely accepted explanation of the attacks being carried out by Al Qaeda.
Okay. Can you read the second paragraph, Mitch, please? Multiple investigations.
Multiple investigation, including the 911 Commission report and the reports by the National Institute of Standards and Technology (NIST), have extensively analyzed the events of September 11th and have found no credible evidence to support the inside job theory. These reports attribute the collapse of the Twin Towers to the impact of the hijat, hijat,
Hijacked.
hijacked airplanes and the subsequent fires, which caused structural damage and the failure of critical support systems. Conspiracy theories surrounding the events of 911 often rely on and misinterpretation of the available evidence, selective use of information, and unfounded speculations. Many of the claims made by proponents of the usage of theory had been debunked by experts and have been subject of rigorous scrutiny.
Okay, so what is interesting is this is incredibly interesting, and I will tell you why. They say the impacts of the hijacked airplanes caused the collapse of the twin towers. However, if you look up in internet, please look up in internet. I think it's tower number seven of the 9/11 attack. Can you look for that, please? If it is still here, I don't know if they have removed the videos. But there was a tower that was not hit by an airplane and collapsed by itself. I think it was tower number seven. Let's see. Can you look that up, please, to see because there was tower number seven, I think. Tower number seven. Because you know there were many, many towers.
Yes.
And one of them collapsed and no airplane hit it. Tower number seven. Well, if you look for tower number seven, it does not even show it now.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing.
That's
So
very weird.
tower number seven of the 9/11 attack. No, it's not here.
Mm-mm.
Incredible. It doesn't show it now. Let me use another browser.
Maybe put what
Tower
happened with the
number
Tower 7
seven.
in 911. In 911.
What happened with tower number seven in 9/11?
Uh-huh.
What? What happened with tower number seven? Looks like it did not even exist.
Whoa.
It changes the whole thing.
Topic.
Building seven. A building seven. Okay, so let's put building seven.
Uh-huh.
Building seven. Now that's how you look it up. Building.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Building. Bless you.
Thank you.
Okay, questions. Endures fires for almost 7 hours and collapse on Earth. There must be a video about that. Why the building number seven fell. Okay, I'm going to send you the link. It's 3 minutes only, but it was not hit by any aircraft. Let me send it to you, Mitch. And we can ask that question too. Let me send you the link. Okay. So let me. Okay, well, it says that it was progressive fire. You got the video, Mickey?
Yes, teacher.
You got the YouTube? Yes? Okay. It says that it's due to progressive fire. So 2 buildings collapsed because apparently 2 aircrafts crashed against it. And the national investigation says that the impact of hijacked airplanes, which is impossible according to the engineers, because they are built to resist incredible fires. So it is impressive that the artificial intelligence gives. Well, I don't know. I have my doubts, but well, that's a personal opinion. But
Well, of course, the programmer could have some errors, but I think the minimum thing that we can do is improve the information in other fonts
sources.
sources.
Yes, because for example, exactly what you say, Mitch. You can say, why did building 7 collapse during the 9/11 attacks? Do you like that reduction?
Yes.
Well, okay. It was not struck by any aircraft. 7 hours after the Twin Towers collapsed. So 7 hours later, it collapsed. But why? It was not hit by any aircraft. So if it was not hit by any aircraft, why did it collapse? Well, the theory of the conspiracy theory says that the American government installed explosives in the two towers and in that tower too, and they were going to fake an attack by an aircraft. But at the end, the fake attacks were only on two towers, not on three. But the other explosives also went off, so they also exploded, and that they had exploded with nanothermite, which is a very highly advanced chemical compound only used by the U.S. military. So nano, for example, if you ask what is nanothermite, what is nanothermite, there's going to give you a huge explanation. That is a super thermite, energetic material that is composed of thermite mixture in which the particles are reduced to nanoscale. Okay, here it says exactly that. Can you read paragraph number 3, Mitch, or Mickey? Nanothermite here, please. Which says nanothermite has received attention. Please, this paragraph, can you guys read it, please?
Nanothermite has received attention and discussion in the context of conspiracy theories related to the collapse of the World Trade Center buildings on September 11, 2001. Some proponents of these theories have suggested that nanothermite was used as an explosive or incendiary material to bring down the buildings. However, it is important to note that there is no credible scientific evidence to support these claims, and the consensus among experts and investigators is that the collapse of the World Trade Center buildings was primarily caused by the impact of the airplanes and subsequent fires, as detailed in the official reports by organizations like the National Institute of Standards and Technology.
Okay, so there is, because they found, the researchers found in the debris, in the residues, they found nanothermite. And nanothermite is well, what it says is a chemical compound that can only be used by the U.S. Army. And they found it there. They say, how can it be if only the U.S. Army uses this material? And it was found in the buildings that collapsed. They say, well,
Wow.
how can there be, right? And here they support this, some conspiracy theories related to the collapse. And also that the tower number 7 or building number 7 that collapsed with no impact from an airplane. So it says, well, it collapsed because of the fire, and that's it. And the investigation, that's all what it said, one line. So, well, that makes you suspicious of everything. Of course, that's a little bit my nature, but I like this program for that reason mainly, because it gives you extensive information, and you ask it the same question in different ways, and well, you see what it gives you. What do you think of this, Mickey? Other applications that you can use it for besides your private detective? What else can you use this toy for, Mickey or Mitch?
Hmm.
Well, there are so many things that you can use with the artificial intelligence and with only ChatGPT. And it's incredible that a part of that, it is so easy to use. So any person who is curious or who wants to do something specifically can use it. And yesterday I was thinking, because I used ChatGPT for the homework, to be honest, and well, it makes the homework in less than 20 seconds. And I imagine that obviously there are a lot of advantages of have this type of technology, but at the end, I would say that there are more risks about the jobs that persons do, because the technology could replace us so easily.
Mhm.
So it was something that I was analyzing yesterday because it's great because now I'm in university and it could help me to do my homework or some projects. But at the end, if one program could do all those things, it can be replaced for thousands and thousands of people.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Absolutely true. That is absolutely evident. Actually, if I was a student again, I would buy myself a computer rather than enrolling in a school. Maybe I say, but
Yeah,
why? Yeah, because the computer has more and more precise information, more available at any time I want,
absolutely. Yeah.
and they are amazing. However, what I was telling my brother Siegfried in Canada, he's in Canada and he's doing homeschooling to his kids. What do you think of this concept? We have discussed it before. Homeschooling. wh-
Mm,
What are the advantages? We discussed this once, I think.
One, more attention, like us. We don't have to share the attention with more people, and it's that very advantageous because we learn faster than others, I could say. For
Yes.
example, I know a friend that it has like 4 hours of English classes at Fridays, but she don't know very much because she has to share the class with other 20 people.
Yeah. Yeah. However, having classes at home give me a second, please. I need to take a phone call really quick, please.
just
Just a second, please. Hey, Chris. Hello. Good morning. How are you doing? Everything fine. Thank you very much. Yes, I'm about to finish a class with two very smart kids.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, But if it's too much of a hassle, don't worry. Don't worry. Do the best that's for you, all right? Okay, Chris. Yeah, the things that I was in a class now, but yeah, no problem. No, don't worry. Don't worry. Yeah, yeah, we keep in contact for sure, Chris. No, no worries, no worries. Just make sure that your flat is okay, that everything is in good order. Thank you. Take care. See you then. Bye, Chris. See you. Bye, bye, bye. I'm sorry, Mickey.
Don't worry.
It was one teacher of the academy that had a flat tire and he's using a motorbike
Oh
to
my God.
drive and he's not going to be able to make it for the first half. He wants to teach the class online, which I'll say is okay because we have a bunch of ITESI students. But there is one lady that goes there online, I mean in person class. So I'm gonna take her with me for the first half maybe, and what and yeah, maybe he's gonna make it for the second half. Well, that was that.
Well, great.
So when you guys take classes at home with your parents, with other teachers, etc., etc. Well, you already are grown-ups, right? You are late teens or early 20s. You're young. You have already developed a social environment, social atmosphere. You go here and there. That's great for people with already a social establishment, being adapted socially. But with children, it's very dangerous. The obvious reason is that the most important thing for kids is what? To socialize, don't you think?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
What do kids learn when they are little and they want to socialize or they need to socialize with other people? What do they learn? What is the first thing that they learn?
The basics, how to learn with other kids, how react between other people, how be respectful with others. Yes, things like that. The basics.
Yeah, exactly. What else, Mickey? Thank you, Mitch.
Mm, well, I met people who has their children in homeschooling. For example, the person who cuts my hair,
Okay.
he, he he doing that way, and I was chatting with him, and he says that actually they learned better, that they learned uh, easily because all the attention is in them. But at the same time, he thinks that uh, they are losing like this way of how to relation with other people for the same, because obviously they are like, probably is not the correct word to use, but they're like in a bubble and everything's good here. But if you go outside of this bubble, you're gonna meet people that probably is rude, probably is not gonna be in agree with you, and I think that it's necessary that kids have this experience and this feeling, because uh, when they are in homeschooling, they are in like in a different completely context that in school with thousands and hundreds of people, you know.
Absolutely true. That's absolutely true. What Mitch and you said is totally right. And that's probably one of the most important skills kids have to learn: how to resist to the peer pressure, how to resist, how to defend themselves against bullying, how to defend themselves against jokes, how to make alliances, right? You learn how to make alliances. What you said, how to defend yourself against bullying. Although many of these you learn at home too. And that depends on the family structure as well. For example, in my case, we were five brothers and we were teasing and making jokes and bullying each other uh, because I have a big brother and I'm the second. I have a third brother who's a year and a half younger than I am. And we were fighting almost every day and we learned to defend ourselves. So when we got to school and somebody tried to bully us, we were able to defend ourselves because we had the schooling at home, right? The
Mhm.
schooling of how to defend yourself. I think I told you the anecdote. One day, one kid said to me, "Hey, teacher, I had a fight with my sister." And I said, "Oh, really? Congratulations!" And they were astonished. But it was a fight. Yeah, fantastic, very good job, guys. I said, "Why do you say why do you say that?" Teacher says, "Because you are practicing, you are learning how to defend yourselves against other guys in the street, right?"
Yeah.
And they were surprised, but in part, well, not partially, in another meaning, it's true. We learn many things on how to defend ourselves, but I think it's part of nature. If you see I told you this a while ago. I think a tiger mom playing with the cub, they are not doing this, right? The mom pretends to be pushing the little cub. The cub defends and responds back to the mom, and they are playing. But in reality, the mom is teaching the kid how to defend itself, the cub how to defend itself.
Hmm.
Later on, is going to teach her how to hunt. But these things, these games in quotation marks, really teach the kid how to defend himself well. This is what would be the equivalent to social skills, except that the social skills can be taught by the parents, but also they need to be confronted with other kids. In other words, your dad can tell you, if somebody pushes you, you put the arms like this or do this. Or if somebody tells you, "Hey, Mickey, you are not very intelligent," you tell him, "No, yes, I am very intelligent." Mitch, if somebody tells you, "You are not this," you say, "Yes, yes, I am that. I am exactly very smart lady."
Hmm.
So our parents tell us how to do it, but the test is in the street, is in the school, is in society. I don't know if you agree with this concept, Mickey or Mitch.
Very much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
So I think that's the disadvantage of homeschooling for kids, for children.
Hmm.
That's what I told my brother, and he pretty much agrees with that. He says, "Yeah, that's true." And that's why I live in a family complex and I take the kids outside to play with other kids and we invite family over with kids and this and that. So there are like substitutes for social interaction, if you allow me to say that.
Hmm.
But well, we deviated from the conversation a little bit. Um,
Yeah.
Coming back to the topic of artificial intelligence, which are other risks, Mickey or Mitch, besides being a little bit isolated, which can happen? But let's say, what can happen if people with not the best intentions come across this magnific tool, in my opinion? What do you guys think can happen? Which are the risks?
Mm,
Mm, for example, with ChatGPT, uh, I know this for my own experience because I was curious and I asked something that is really bad. I don't remember exactly what was the question, but it was like how you can how can you kill someone with a knife? And
oh
it
my.
gives me a report that if I ask something again related to that, they're gonna suspend my account. So ChatGPT doesn't give you information of those type of things.
Okay, well, how can I kill is framed in an incorrect format. But
Mhm.
what if you change the question like this? How can I don't know if this works or not. How can I defend my life if someone attacks me with a knife?
Oh,
That
no.
is a rephrase, right? How can I defend myself if someone attacks me with a knife? Do you think this would be considered as a valid question by ChatGPT? I don't know. I'm just
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
well. Let's reframe the question then. How can I defend myself if someone attacks me with a knife? Let's ask it here. I hope they don't ban my account.
No. Hmm?
Okay. Use your
But
voice. Okay, look, it's giving a response. It's giving 5, 6, 7 ways to.
yeah, but it's like, okay, you're a good person. You have to be calm. You can defend with no violence and things like that.
Yes.
It's pretty ethical, in my opinion.
Yes. Yeah, but it gives it yeah, because the comment that Mickey is asking, Mitch, which is I'm sure probably you will agree or not, if they say, if the computer says it is bad if you go in this direction, so computers normally think in terms of good and bad, right? This is bad. So what do I do? Well, I reframe the question in the opposite way, and it's gonna be considered as acceptable or good, right? Acceptable, acceptable, or good. So just reframe the question or ask it in an opposite way. I don't know if that can be grammatically possible all the time for all types of questions. For example, if you ask it, can I create an atomic bomb? I'm sure it's gonna say, I cannot answer this type of questions, right?
No, and apart, it's gonna send you to the U.S. government as a signal, and when you travel to the U.S. territory, it's going to catch you.
Right, exactly. But for example, I can ask it, how much, how does France generate most of its electrical power? And I know that the answer is 75% of the electrical power is based on nuclear energy. So they're going to start using the word nuclear, not me. Uh, Here it is. It's not that I'm trying to cheat or to beat the program. It's not the intention. The intention is that I want to induce certain answers on the other and the computer in this case. For example, can you please read the first paragraph really here, please?
Me?
Yeah, whoever. Yes, Mitch or Mickey. Yes.
France generates most of its electrical power through a combination of nuclear energy, renewable sources, and a smaller portion from fossil fuels. And nuclear power plays a significant role in France's energy mix, making it one of the countries with the highest reliance on nuclear power in the world. Here are the key sources of electrical power in France.
Yes. So they have nuclear power is number one, then renewable energy, hydropower, fossil fuels, etc. So the what I mean is that I can introduce a topic without saying the word. I don't want to use the word nuclear in the first place. So I induce the chat or I induce the person to say the word, right?
Mhm.
Um, I don't know if that how the computer is programmed to take these words. Maybe even if I induce it, they put a little tag on me. They say, "Oh, he's promoting or provoking these responses," which can be a bad sign. But well, it's just out of curiosity, right?
Yes.
But for instance, uh, a person could ask this question: which has been the greatest bank heist? Don't remember this with A or T in history. They're gonna say that's Banco Rio in Argentina, I think. Right, train robbery. No, that was a
Yes.
train robbery. I asked for a bank heist. Um, Belgium. There was one in Argentina, Banco Rio. Well, let me see what happened. I don't know if you know about that bank robbery.
No, about Argentina, I'm not very informed.
It was one of the greatest bank thefts or bank heists, the robbery of the century. There's actually a movie. I don't know if you saw that movie, Mickey or Mitch.
Um, what is the movie, teacher?
Um, what's the name of the movie? Let me see. What movie? I'm gonna. Now, I'm becoming lazy now. I'm asking the toy. What movie was it made after the bank robbery in Banco Rio in Argentina? They made the heist of the century, El Robo del Siglo. That's a movie.
Mm.
And that's a fantastic movie. I suggest that if you have an opportunity, because it's very funny how it happened, and they almost escaped. The problem with that robbery is that one of the thieves started to spend fortunes and fortunes and fortunes with his girlfriend.
Oh,
With his girlfriend. So the wife found out. She got really upset, and she went to the police and betrayed her husband.
Oh,
yeah.
And that's how they capture the thieves. Otherwise, that would have been a blank, perfect crime. But it was not a perfect crime because it's difficult to have a perfect crime. So,
yeah.
so you can take notes on many events with this toy. And what you say, Mickey and Mitch, it can be risky. Well, it's like a knife, like you said, right? You can use it to cut meat, and you can use it to attack a person, which is dreadful, horrible, right? Well, what do we do? What is our social responsibility in this case when there is a tool that can be used for the good or can be used for the bad? What is your suggestion, Mitch, Mickey? What should we do before we take off? What's our social responsibility as smart and responsible
Mm.
citizens?
Well, I see ChatGPT as another browser that I think if you're intelligent, it doesn't affect you very much. Intelligent and people tend to be curious of everything and analyze everything. No, don't have to be the first answer that it gives you,
Yes.
but you have to compare all the information. But of course, it sees people that maybe are not dumb, but are lazy uh,
Check
to
other versions.
check other versions, and could be pretty difficult. But I see ChatGPT as another browser actually, and as an assistant.
As an assistant. That's very smart. What do you think, Mitch? What do you think, Mickey?
Mm, yeah, definitely. ChatGPT. It is a fantastic tool that we can use as a student, as teacher, as any person who is curious and wants to learn something new or try to understand how it works. And it is great. Obviously, there must be a balance, and we, like Mitch and you said, we need to compare the information, not only the information that ChatGPT or any artificial intelligence give us. And at the end, I think that obviously it must be regulated because there are people who could take advantage in a bad way of this technology. So I think that it must be regulated and try to have a balance between the technology that we use and the human that use this technology.
Well, thank you very much for your comments. Both comments are incredibly smart. I'd like that eventually, I know that you guys have a lot of things to do at school, at home, and projects, this and that. You're very dynamic. But if there is an opportunity, let's open up a YouTube channel, and then we make a database of comments, opinions, documented opinions, and like a forum where we can also uh, invite eventually other people or refer to other people talking about these interesting topics. What do you think about that, Mitch, Mickey? Would that be a good idea?
It's an
Yeah,
interest.
I would like it.
Okay,
It sounds great.
thank you very much. So how about class tomorrow morning? Do you guys have time? 8:30? Monday's a day off too, so we can have the class early. What do you guys want to do? We're a few classes behind.
Yeah. I can. I don't know if Mitch has a commitment, but I can at 8. 8 for me, it's okay.
For you, 8 o'clock is good tomorrow. How about you, Mitch? Can you at 8? Or maybe
Yeah, it's okay.
it's okay. You will have to go, guys. early to bed today or not too late, and myself too, because sometimes I go to bed
Yeah,
late and
I don't like
geez,
that.
I wake up early, and then sometimes we watch movies on Saturday night, and then it says, "Oh, I
Mm.
have to wake up tomorrow morning early." And but well, let's make an effort. If anything
Yeah.
comes, let's make a little effort. Let's try to watch our movies earlier. All right. Well,
Yes, teacher.
okay,
Thank you.
guys, enjoy. Thank you very much. Take care, Mickey,
You too,
Mitch.
teacher. Take
Thanks
care.
for the smart talk as usual.
Thank you
Have
for
a,
your time, teacher. Have a nice
have
weekend.
a great day.